Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. I'm Ross, and today I'm going to have a look at 9th edition and how we are doing 1 year on. Now I am a little bit late in this. This probably should have been done about the end of July, start of August, because 9th edition kind of released, I believe, around the end of July, start of August. And so I've just been a bit busy and not had a chance to do this video, but I have had a look at various aspects of 9th edition and just to make a comparison with 8th edition in terms of how our release is coming on. First up, what am I actually going to look at? Well, we're going to look at codexes and supplements, mainly because have a look at the difference between 8th and 9th edition and their first year. How evenly were they spread out between Imperial, Chaos and Xenos? We're going to have a look at models. Now we're going to compare the models between... I'm not going to compare really the models between 8th and 9th edition, because looking at the models between 8th edition and trying to get their dates was a little bit difficult, and it would probably just add a lot more to discussion. I'm just going to discuss 9th edition, the models that we've seen, and again, are they evenly spread out between Imperial, Chaos and Xenos, or of course, are we seeing a bit of a bias? And one things I will not discuss is Age of Sigmar. Let's face it, it's got very little relevance to 40k, but just keep in mind that we are now going into a new edition of Age of Sigmar, so we might actually see less stuff coming out in the future for 40k. Specialist games such as Kill Team and Apocalypse, I have a bit to discuss on these, but I don't think they're too relevant for the first year of 40k. And then I'm not going to discuss narrative books, mainly because 8th edition didn't get one till around December 2018 with Vigilus, which was about a year and a bit, versus 9th edition where we have had loads of campaign books come out already. Going to look at the differences between 8th edition and 9th edition when it comes to codexes and supplements. So in 8th edition we had 19 total codexes or supplements released. They were Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, Adeptus Mechanicus, Astra Militarum, Craft Worlds, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Tyrannids, Adeptus Custodes, Chaos Demons, Thousand Sons, Necrons, Tau Empire, Drukhari, Deathwatch Harlequins and Imperial Knights. While in 9th edition we seem to only have 12, this being Space Marines, Necrons, Deathwatch, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Death Guard, Drukhari, Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus Sororitas, Grey Knights and Thousand Sons. A large difference in production, with over 1/3 more in 8th edition release than 9th edition. The likely reason behind this is the global pandemic, of course, but we could also see that we did get campaign books in 9th edition, which 8th edition didn't get till later on. How much of a positive that is up for debate and probably another discussion, but we do have mitigating circumstances in general for a lack of books released, though at nearly 1/3 it is beginning to show. The faction breakdown is in 8th edition we had 9 Imperial books, 4 Chaos and 6 Xenos, while in 9th edition we have 8 of them being Imperial, 2 of them Chaos and 2 Xenos. So surprisingly, Imperial are actually down by 1 when it comes to codex output. However, both Chaos and Xenos are almost half, which is, in fact they're over half, which is obviously really beginning to show. Certainly when it comes to the Xenos side, only having 2 of them updated is quite bad. The other thing to note is quite a lot of the Imperial ones are actually Space Marines, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 of them being Space Marines, so that's nearly that's 2/3, over 2/3 of the Imperial ones being Space Marines themselves. So there's been a lot of favouritism in getting Space Marines up to date as possible, which I was an advocate for when originally 9th edition came around. Though they may be up to date, everything else is not keeping track on that, and that is not good for the game, I feel. A large number of the first wave 8th edition codex have been updated. The Drukhari one I feel is important to note of being updated, because when 9th edition came out I feel that the Drukhari codex was suffering a wee bit, and the new codex seems to be well received. But you've had other ones like Adeptus Mechanicus, which was one of the earliest codexes being updated, and that was really quite well received as well, though at first I think a little bit overpowered. The one thing we're noticing is of course Chaos Space Marines. We know that hasn't been updated and it is really showing its age, and unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to see an update till 2022. Next up we're coming to models, and I've only listed the ones, as I said, that are released in 9th edition. So this covers up to the Grey Knights and Thousand Sun release. I included them even though they were about August. I felt it was okay to include them because it was only 2 models, and I have not included Orcs because it came to September, and although we had Beast Nagas, we've not had the full release, so I didn't want to include them. Either way, you can see here's the list of sort of models. There might be ones that I have possibly missed. There might be ones you can say I have not included all their variants. I think you could maybe include that with the Space Marine stuff, that some of the models that you may get a similar model, such as the gladiators, and then you can load them out and then they get different data sheets. Fine, you can argue on that one. But I've sort of included everything I could see here, and again you can see the favouritism into Imperium. So Imperium having 28 new models, with of course Space Marines being the majority at 16. Chaos are only getting 5, which is very, very limited, but we've also got to take into consideration Chaos did get quite a lot of models in 8th edition as well, and even 7th edition, with 2 Demon Primarchs, one coming out at the tail end of 7th and one at the very beginning of 8th, and then we did see Abaddon as such, you know, in terms of Chaos Space Marines getting a bit of an update, so I can sort of be forgiving in Chaos not getting so many models. And then we come to Xenos, which got 23, though I would keep in mind I calculated Orcs and they are looking at roughly 17 new models, so actually, you know, not as many as Necrons it appears, but still a lot, and that really bumps up the Xenos numbers quite extensively. So you can see here, I'm interested to hear what people say, but that is all the models that I could see were released during 9th edition for 40k. Again, I didn't include Orcs or, you know, the Kill Team box, etc. But let me know on that one if I've got any of them wrong. So that's my quick look at 9th edition 1 year on. Was there anything I got wrong? Let me know. But I wanted to give a sort of data between comparing codexes and models, because they are the main sort of staple, I would say, of releases when it comes to 40k and arguably Age of Sigmar as well, and to see the difference between 8th and 9th is a little bit saddening. I can understand that there's been a lot going on in the world and it has reduced production, and certainly in the codexes I imagine game testing might be more difficult and balancing codexes. Space Marines were certainly the easiest probably to get out because they probably required a little bit less testing because a lot of their models are from a codex that was already established. But still, to see the Xenos not getting as many, or Chaos, is quite unnerving. I really hope that that pushes on a wee bit, but unfortunately we've already seen the roadmap and it doesn't appear to really be so. Favouring these sort of campaign books, I'm a little bit worried on those as well. And then if you look at the models, I've actually been largely impressed with the models that have came out. Sure, we've had Space Marines, but they've been Space Marines that have covered areas that they weren't covered before, such as more of a close combat force when you saw an Indomitus, which I thought was excellent. Necrons got such a great update, which I was very happy with, and we are coming into Orcs, and Orcs I think is doing very well as well. So on the model side I am more pleased. We also had Bellicor as well. What a fantastic model, which is awesome. So thanks again for watching. I am probably going to try and get a live stream or something discussing this a little bit further, more on the personal side, and I'll try and get one of the guys on as well to discuss it, to really let you know more of my personal feelings about 9th edition and its year on, but just wanted to show all the codexes and the models at the moment in an easy data fashion. So thanks again, comment, share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on our Tabletop Assault Battle Report.